Hello everybody, and it's me Anastasia from Beijing, China. Uh, I really enjoyed making these 1 month long videos where I show you glimpses of my life, what I'm doing on a basically daily basis, and also a lot of stitching. So I think I will be continuing to do that, and of course tell me in the comments if you like that or not, and don't forget to put a like button to push the like button if you want to see May. The more likes we have, the more I will show May, because she is kind of becoming a star of this channel, and I'm afraid at some point I will receive a comment that we don't need to see your stitching, just show me your cat. Alright, today I am starting my vlog from work. I came here early in the morning for my 2 classes, and they told me that today we have some safety education evacuation measurements or something during my class. So basically probably they will finish a little earlier and I will still have 15 minutes to review anything with my kids. But this August they told me I will only come here for 2 classes in the morning, and other teachers are working half day, kids are here half day, but they don't want to pay me half day, so I'm only here for 2 classes in the morning. It's like less than 2 hours, and then I'm free to go home. It would look like I have more stitch time but I don't know what happens, but basically it's not it. I will have some time to more do chores at home. I will have more time to cook lunches. Now I don't order food too much, I cook them, and I will have time just to be lazy, read more, play Sudoku more, play games more, but not much stitching. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with my summer. How is the summer going? And I have so many plans for this month, and I am switching you into stitching. I wanted to give a little update about the rainings and flooding in Beijing. For those who wondered, actually last week for 3 days we have a typhoon that came from Philippines, and it was very bad here. Our side of Beijing, the eastern side, was okay, relatively okay. The river reached the top, and they opened the dam to let the water slide, and mostly we had just very big puddles. It was difficult to drive scooters, so Aaron took me to work every day in car, but mostly that was it. We were just a little worried about overflowing of the sewer system and things, but it was okay. But this western part of the town, that was really bad. So the Beijing is a really big city, and from one part of the town to another part it could reach up to 60-70 miles. So it is pretty far from us. You can say it's like another city, but it was totally flooded. It was flooded that the cars were swimming along, and it was just generally not unsafe, and lots of communities were flooded. People were strangled, people could not go anywhere. Some bridges collapsed, as I saw in the videos, and we had some lethal accidents. But right now they are known about 50 lethal accidents, but probably more, and we don't know how many animals and wildlife, because we have a lot of parks in Beijing. We have a lot of animals that are safe to walk around. We have basically deers and rabbits in the parks, and pheasants, so we don't know how much of those survived. But anyway, and now they are telling us a week later that the second typhoon is coming back to Beijing. And actually I'm sitting right now, and it's a light rain here. I think you don't see it on the camera, but I am sitting under the light rain, and they say it's gonna be back. So we'll see how it goes this month. Let's hope that it is still very safe here. 哥哥还有就是这边的叔叔在 What I've been stitching the whole week that you haven't seen me. First of all, I finished this part, the lower part of the eucalyptus branch. This is my present for my mom. She's, I don't know, she has this new crazy thing about eucalyptus. She really loves the leaves everywhere. Previously it was the pumpkins. Pumpkins should have been everywhere around the house. Now it's eucalyptus. So when I showed this to my mom, she was like, yay, I want it. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna stitch it for you. Unfortunately, this is a true cross-stitch BDSM moment. I have a cross-stitch BDSM hashtag on Instagram, so follow it or add it to your cross-stitch, show it, tag me. I would love to see your project that has blends or backstitch. This project has both. Backstitch is not a problem here. The blends and the confetti, because there are colors, especially in this branch, that have like 2 or 3 stitches here, maybe 1 or 2 here, and then here. And how do you want me to count it? Yeah, if I would be stitching it on Ada and also I would have markings on it, it would be so much easier to count. But as a rule, I'm stitching it on Murano, 32 count, and it's not easy to count here. I'm already complained a lot about this project, so I'm not going to say anything else. Just the thing that I'm not going to finish it this month. Probably I will let it sit a bit with me, like till maybe the end of fall, and then I will take the upper half, which has more leaves, and finish it. And at first I wanted to stitch one for my mom and one for myself. I'm pretty sure this kit has enough floss for to stitch it 2 times. But now I'm saying, once for my mom is enough. I really don't need it. I'm not a fan of eucalyptus, which in fact I'm not a fan of this project. So the second thing that you already seen in the last video is this little cat from the amazing Cherry company. I already said that I love their bases, I love their floss, I love everything, I love their kits. Haven't covered yet, but you can see my very messy back. So yeah, everything is wonderful. I can't say anything bad. So I have a first finish of August. Then the second thing I think I already showed you is the in my last video. So if you haven't seen, go and watch it. It's a very interesting video. Is Briolis, the kit based on Alphonse Mucha work. It's called Laurel. And I really like this kit. It's just an amazing, it's a joy to stitch as well. Unfortunately, the pattern itself is hell. The pattern itself it doesn't have only cross stitch pattern. This pattern has cross stitch and back stitch at the same time. So it's really hard to like see which color it is. Fortunately, it does have very distinguished colors of stitching, but it's very difficult to see, especially like places like here. What is going on here? My good luck is that once I complained on it in one of the Stitchy groups, one of the designers said if I will send her the pattern, the PDF pattern, she will make electronic pattern for me for my Saga cross stitch app, and she did, and now I'm stitching it from Saga, and it just love. It's a love of my life. So since May, I stitched I think 2,000 half stitches in May, and now I also did 2,000 half stitches. The whole project is stitched in half stitches. So I did this part of green, the brown, and the green inside the brown. And I'm so happy to see this much project on like after 2 times of stitching. Not 2 days, but 2 times, like 2 weeks, roughly 2 weeks of stitching. So the first week was her lower part of the face, her braids, and this color outer circle, and then this is the second time. And every time I pick it up, I do so much so much progress. So I was thinking, what if I pick it up again once in fall and once in winter time? Because the whole thing is not much cross stitch. It is about 10,000 stitches and 12,000 backstitch. Yeah, you heard it correctly. There is like 12,000 backstitch. It's more than cross stitch here. So I decided, what if I will try to make it my focus piece next year? Because this year I already have a lot of things I will finish as presents. I will finish lots of things for market. I will also have at least two of my very old whips, which I am very focused on finishing this year. So how about I will do this focus piece for my next year, so I can divide it in 12 months and stitch little by little every month. I already did it with my tigers, which I gave to Aaron's mom and dad last year. So it works well for me. It works well if I have little, like about 1,000 mark to stitch every month. It takes me about a week and it's not a big deal. So I think this will be a focus piece for next year and I'm very, very happy about it. And one more thing I stitched last week, because you know me, I can't stitch just one thing, it gets very boring, is I started Riola's Kids, this yellow flower. I'm not sure what's the English name. I'm sorry, I always forget to look up some flower names. I know them in Russia, I have no idea what's in English, but I really love the smell of this flower. My cousin gifted me this kit, and as much as I love my cousin, I don't really see this design in my home, so I decided to stitch it on an apron and gift it back to her. So this year till December, I need to finish 3 different aprons for my mom, my cousin, and my sister. But now she won't be probably there this winter, so probably the 3rd April would go to my aunt. But that's just like a family thing. Don't think much about it. So I'm doing 3 aprons, and one of them was the Lily of the Valley, which I had to do the backstitch and I still didn't get to do it. And the second one is this yellow flower, and I love it. I love how it looks, but the whole project is stitched with wool, and wool is kind of difficult to get through this double-sided linen. It's really hard to stitch. So I counted this project is about 6,000 stitches, a little more. So if I do, plus a lot of French knots, like there is a ton of French knots here. If I do about 1,550 stitches a month, I should finish it about 4 months before December, so I'll have plenty of time to pack it and get ready to go to Russia. We are visiting Russia this December for just a week. Haven't been there for 4 years now. Can you imagine? Haven't been home for 4 years. So this will be one of the presents I will be bringing, and I think it will look amazing. I love how it looks on this apron. I love how the apron is almost the same size as the whole project. I will see if I will need to cut a little bit the number of stitches I do, but I don't really think so. I think it will be exactly the size I need. What I'm most concerned about is like this maybe branch or like the last stitches, but I don't think they are very important. So yeah, I will be doing 1,500 stitches every month. I believe there is 1,600 stitches here right now, so I already completed my goal for this month, and it will rest, because as much as I love the colors, as much as I love the idea of stitching a present, as much as I love it, it's really hard to stitch on wool, and I don't want to get burned out because I still have another apron to stitch. I still have other things I want to do, so I'm gonna rotate it. It's getting into monthly rotation. Morning, everybody. So today is Sunday, and May is seriously not happy with me. I just gave her a bath, and of course it's not one of her favorite moments during the week. She can bear the water, she can bear me sponging her, but the worst part is she hates the rubbing of the towel. Like after the bath, I wipe her out with a very soft towel. She hates it. Like, this is the worst moment for her. She tries to run away. She tries to climb out of my hands. You know, the moment when a baby is like just trying to get out of your hug or get out of your hands, and he's not fighting you actively, but he's just like limping or like trying to faint in a way that he will fall out of your hands. Like, it's very uncomfortable to hold it. So May's doing the same thing. Like, the moment I'm trying to hold her to wipe like her back legs or something, she's just walking away from me with her whole body so that I cannot like get any hold of her. So yeah, you can see she's not getting in the pumpkin. She's sleeping on the pumpkin, so she just squished the pumpkin. And like right now it's too hot maybe to sleep inside, so she sleeps outside the pumpkin in this manner. Okay, let's see on the star of my channel how she's scratching her ears. Okay, and why did I make this video to show me? No, actually I wanted to show you my secret project. And my secret project was this. This is a wedding embroidery. After I advertise on WeChat that I can add some quotes or mottos or inspirational quotes on some stitching, I had a message from a girl, and she asked me if I can like repeat this embroidery. Like she found this embroidery on Pinterest, and she's like, "Can you do something like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Like, it's not cross stitch, but I can do it. It's nothing too much. So she sent me her pictures. She sent me her names and everything, and the only thing she asked for is she said she wants more colorful. Like it's already very colorful, but she said she wants more like rainbow with blues and purples and like more colors. So I added more colors, and this was a really project of passion, project of love, because all of this mostly like elements I did for the first time. And of course, like you can see, maybe one flower is a little wonky and the next one is already better. So you can see my progress. So one flower is looks so, but the next one is already yay. So maybe I started from that one. The only thing I don't like here is my color choice for the greens for the big bush. I think it should be more bright and maybe dark greens. Instead, I used some swamp greens, and it was a big mistake. But I asked her, I sent her the pictures, I sent her the videos. She said she loved it. So I asked her if she wants to change anything. No, nothing to change. So I will be framing it today. And yes, Michał, I remember you wanted a tutorial, but to make a tutorial, basically I need 2 hoops because I will be doing one in Russian, one in English. Otherwise, it's not really fair. So I will be just framing today, but next time I'm getting ready for the market, I will have a couple hoops to make, so I will do a proper hooping tutorial for you, so don't worry. It's coming, probably sometime in September, but right now I only have one. That's why I'm gonna hoop it. And maybe I'm a cheapskate or something, but I stitched it on a part of Aaron's shirt. He retired some of his shirts, white t-shirts, and he was going to throw them away, but I said, why? No, I need them, because I use like white fabric for the back of my hoops, like to cover from the back. But now then I needed some fabric with no holes, like no big holes like on a cross stitch, so I was like, yay, that's the perfect fabric. If the like buyer will never know it, it's fine, don't tell them. I actually, turns out I personally knows these 2 people. She doesn't know that I know them, but I personally know them because I've been on the restaurant opening, his restaurant opening. They have a Persian food restaurant, so it was really cool. I saw them both. They are very good together. They're a very sweet couple, very nice, so I made them. I made their wedding embroidery, and I'm super happy about it. Like, this is a wonderful experience for me, and it just taught me all these little elements. Like, it was my first time basically how to do all of those, and I am happy with the result. I'm a little not happy with like hair. I could have done better, but at this moment I don't know how to do better. I'm still learning. This is basically my first time. Maybe after 3-4 hoops like this I will know, but not right now. And my second project, it's not entirely like a secret project. I can freely show it here, but I cannot show it on Instagram because the person I'm doing it with, this is child metrics. There will be like child's name, his weight, his date birth, his height, and so on about his birth metrics. So the person I'm doing it for is in China, and she follows me on Instagram. She's my friend in Beijing, so I decided to make a present for her, but it is a surprise because she doesn't know it. I talked about it to her mom, so she gave me all the information, and we agreed on a rabbit because now is the year of the rabbit. The baby was born in year of the rabbit, so they want rabbit. And the pattern what I'm doing right now, I will show you. So, yeah, this one. And initially this was a pattern like 200 by 200, and what I did is like, this is me, and these sounds is when she tries to get the snort from her nose like back inside, like how people do like this. So she's making these poor sounds. Poor baby. Poor baby. You like a gang leader or someone with this scar, but actually she just ate leaf from a plant and had a little rash, and that's why she scratched herself. But yeah, my gang leader cat. Badass cat. Badass cat. Badass cat. So cute. Sorry, guys. Okay, this project was 200 by 200. I decided to do 120 by 120. So I cut out all the extras. Basically, I cut out just a bunch of stars, which I will need to count. Also, probably not this star, because I think the name and all the metrics will be here, and probably he will not be catching this star. He will be catching maybe this star or this star. So I will see that. I will see that at the end. It's not very important right now. I'm not pushing it, like I don't want to finish it next week or something. Probably I will stitch it at a later piece, because we don't have a set date when I need to give it to her. So it's just a project of enjoyment. It's really nice, and I think I'm going back to my origins with this project, because I started my cross stitch by stitching lots of Russian designers, and Svetlana Nemeritskaya, who is a designer of this project, stitching her projects, and then Maria Brovko, and then this year again I go back to my origins, and I started the magnet sampler by Maria Brovko, and now I'm stitching Svetlana Nemeritskaya, so I'm kind of feeling like I'm going back in time and stitching my first designers ever. It's an amazing feeling. I sincerely love it, and it just gives me like this little smile that like I'm going back in history, in my own stitching history, you know. Before I knew about like 200 other designers, before I stitched all other projects. This is my real back to the future moment. Okay, so I'm doing this rabbit, and I actually was asking my friends, like my stitcher friends, and just random people on the internet, is like, do you know any good designs of rabbits? In my chats, I ask like people, do you have any rabbit stitches? Like, can you show me? Because I'm looking for a matrix for a boy, so I need a boy rabbit, because there's so many good patterns by girl rabbit, but I need 2 boys, because my other friend, she is giving birth in October and also have a boy, so I'm looking for the second rabbit right now. And as much as I love these designs, I don't want to stitch the same. I want to stitch like 2 different for them. So I asked my friends, and like people I play games with, people we talk about cross stitch with, and they were like, oh, finally, we can congratulate you. You will have a boy. So good. I was like, no, not me. It's for a friend. But I was like a little baffled by their reactions. Like, oh, finally, we can congratulate you. It's like, I know majority of cross stitchers I talk to have children, but does my childless position like rubbing them the wrong way or something? Like, well, what's wrong about it? Why the moment I ask about metrics, they are not asking me, like, oh, it's for you or something? Like, just this big reaction. It was a big message. It's like, oh, finally, we congratulate you. You have a boy, blah, blah, blah. It's so nice. And I was like, no, not for me. Thank you. I'm pretty fine by how I am right now. So, yeah, I was a little taken aback. But I didn't want to start any quarrels or any talks about like how appropriate it is or something, so nah. But just like, it's kind of strange that people, we just basically talk about only cross stitch or projects, like really not comfortable with me not having babies. So yeah, it was a little strange. And these are 2 projects that I have been stitching this week. Unfortunately, this project will not have as much love as it had last week, because right now in my cross-stitch games. I have prompts to stitch something with people, and I have prompts to stitch something with food. And fortunately, my Santa has both food and people, so I was thinking like to take that, and then I had a prompt to stitch something with bricks or buildings. And my Vervaco project also have a building which I would like to stitch. So I was thinking like to follow the main idea of the game and to just pick up the projects that suit for the prompts, because yeah, I can stitch like 600 on people, or I can stitch 900 on anything. And if I stitch 900 here, it would really, really help me to push this project for the finish. But at the same time, why should I? Why do I need to really like push it through? I don't have a set timer to finish this project. I can finish it during the next month or two if I want to. And so it's just more interesting for me to follow the task prompts to stitch maybe on older projects that I haven't stitched for a long time, but they do have this like how to say, they have this they suit the prompts, so it's more interesting for me. Yeah, I will stitch less stitches in total, but at the same time I will get more happy time or interesting time getting like looking for projects that fit them or finding something like suitable. So yeah, so my next plan is to follow the game.
So you have some nice drink shop.
Okay, that's nice. I wanted to come out and bring my iPad and tell you a little bit about my book and movie recommendations. And they come out in the living room, and what do I see? May is too hot to get inside her housey. This is a caterpillar house. So she just climbed on top of the house. She's like just on top of the house. And she just like, this is my place. So whatever I want, I will do here. And oh, yo. Let's not show it on the camera, okay? And the funny part is that this house is actually like standing. It's kind of hard, but she's just so fat that she just sit down and totally push down this house, and now it looks like not a house but a mattress for her. You are a barbarian, you know this? We buy you so many mattresses and houses, and you just go around and say, this is my place and I do whatever I want. So while May is cleaning up, because she does not care whatever I speak here, I wanted to recommend you some books and movies which I watched this week and finished this week. By the way, I just received a new cover for my iPad and I really, really love it. Though this other part is no color, no picture, so it's worse than before. But my old one started like really falling apart, so I had to buy the new one. And love this kitty, so cute. Okay, let me see. So first thing I want to recommend to you is the book Blindness by, I think it's like Jose Samarago. Uh, I know there is a movie with the same name. So if you're not a reader, you actually can watch a movie. But I watched the movie like long time ago. I don't remember it much, but I remember that it gave me a very lasting impression. Thank you, May. Thank you for your sexy leggy. So it's really powerful, it's really interesting, and the book itself is really good. It's not too big. I would say it's like just a medium sized book, maybe 300 pages, 400 pages, so it's actually very fast read. And the precipice is that just at some point everyone in the world started to get blind, like just momentarily, very fast, and probably infecting each other. So after the COVID, I think it was like striking me right into my heart of how fast everyone got to the blindness, and how these quarantines were put up, and the inhumane facilities they were put in, and everything is like, and I just remembering how the quarantine facilities were in Shanghai were almost the same like level of inhumanity. But because probably it was not because of blindness, it was just like fever and the sickness, it was still sterile and clean. But because people get blind here, it gets really dirty here. Like no one is able to clean, no one is able to like live as normal anymore. And it just like, this book is very powerful. It gives you all these images and make you feel, make you smell, make you like see everything with the eyes of the main hero. She still has eyes in the world of the blind, so it's like through her eyes we see what's happening in the world. And it's just very good book. Even if the story, like realistic apocalyptic story, is not your cup of tea, but this story really made me think about like 12, 13 plans on how to operate, what to do in my apartment, how to like do things if I ever turn blind. I already like started thinking about the ways to my like nearest supermarkets, nearest things, like remember the corners, remember the routes. Like when you see things, you don't think about it too much, but when you feel like you're blind and you cannot see anything, you start thinking is like, how do I get from place A to place B? So this is a very good book. Like I would definitely recommend it. If you are a reader, please, you can read it, or you can. I listened to it while I was stitching, so it's a very good book while you're stitching. It does like leave you with the impression you want to learn more and more and more. So it's just a good book. And the second thing I like found out for myself this week is the series From. The name is From, and there is 2 seasons right now, but there is they're very short, like only 8 episodes each, and like 45-50 minutes each episode. So it's not too big, it's very easy to watch. And if you're lover of horror, sci-fi, I would say mystical things, that is definitely for you. And this series is not trying to scare you. It's scary for the people inside, but I would say there are no screamers there, and it's not horror as like in a horror movie where you are sitting there and you're scared to turn off the light, or you're scared to go to bed. No, this is a relatively safe movie, but I would still not recommend it to watch with kids or like with your teenagers, because it has a lot of scenes of people dying and it has a lot of gore. So the precipice of this series is that at some point people like driving, having a road trip, and they see a fallen tree, and they had to make a U-turn to go back. But the moment they go back, they get into this town. It's very old, like forgotten town, and when they continue down the road, they just go back to town. And then they try to leave the town and they cannot. So it's basically they get stuck forever in this town, and all the people they meet in this town are just the same as they at some point they are just the people that got stuck in this town. But after like after dark, the monsters come out. The monsters come out and they kill anyone whom they can find like outside, basically. So they have a lot of scenes like of monsters killing people, So no recommendations for kids, but if you can withstand the sight of blood, it's amazing series. It also makes you think of things of like, plus it has like the main character, but it has like about 10 to 12 side characters, which you also like feel worry about them. You can't just let them go. Like there are always several like people doing actively doing something, and you want to watch all of them. And the episodes go that they like show 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. They jump from one person to another, and all the action is going at the same moment. So it's just really, really good. And this is what I've been watching and reading and listening this week while stitching. So these are some recommendations from me and this fat butt, fat red tail May. You happy? No, we're just eating our own toast, so we're a little busy here.
慈祥的父亲怀着美丽的新娘，美丽的新娘带着幸福的微笑来到了我们的身边。有请新郎向父亲先鞠躬示意。接下来，老爸会完成他生命当中最重要的那一次决。
整分人。
Oh, my heart doesn't work. Does your heart work?
You have to pick off and then here. Ready?
Can you open it for me? What's this? Okay, show me what's inside. Everyone have it.
This is a lot of people. Show
Yeah.
you. This is blah blah blah. This is la la la. This is 小哥吧啊，哎，老杨。哎，你帮我介绍。他上回见过，见过，还拍了一张照片呢。
I cannot open anything. I cannot open anything. I want to see what's inside the box and cannot open it.
Okay. I can show you one by one.
Okay.
The special hands put it like this, right?
Unboxing. Opening.
Unbox.
Wow! Chocolate hearts. Yay! Can we take them home?
Yeah, you can eat them right now and
No, I don't want to eat them right now.
have to.
Before the meat or before other things. I want to save
This
them.
is yours.
Okay. What's in the bag? Oh, I like the golden sign. What's the sign mean?
Happiness
Happiness. Okay.
and love.
I love it. Kenny. Just came here to give you my weekly report because we got a new housey for me. She's not happy because my morning started really hard. I went to work. I went to the supermarket, shop for food, came back home, marinate the chicken and put the chicken to the oven. Then I washed May. I take a shower and I prepared all the vegetables to be ready to cook because almost lunchtime and I'm so hungry. But before I will go and prepare my lunch, I will show you what I have stitched the whole week. So also the laundry is working, the washing machine is working, I'm doing laundry, first batch is in, 2 more to go. So Monday is a very energetic day for me, very energetic day. And today I also have Chinese class, so lots of things to do, and I still need to stitch. Following my arbitrary August, like everyone's arbitrary August, doing arbitrary August, and me too, but I'm doing it a little bit different, because everyone is putting like the Wheel of Fortune, their whips in the Wheel of Fortune to let them choose which one they're stitching. But what I'm doing is I let the games choose what I'm stitching. So right now I'm taking part in some stitching games with the Russian stitching community, and following the different prompts from the games, I'm choosing between the whips that I haven't stitched yet this year, and I am stitching. So first of all, I have to tell you that this week, my team with 14 people, we stitched in total 61,000 stitches. And I saw the spreadsheet, one of the girls is filling it with everyone's progress, and mine was just mind-blowing. I myself did more than 5,000 stitches. I was like, what? Really. So I'm super happy about it. I did a lot, though I had one non-stitch a day, but everything else I was so into it. It was amazing. I don't want a summer to end, like really. But okay, let me show you my progress. First of all, I was stitching this Mill Hill kit. It's my first Mill kit, and I was stitching it on the prompt to stitch green, brown. Lots of green here, lots of brown here. I think our team had to stitch at least 4,000 brown, and I did like half of that. A little less than half, but whatever. Then I had this project for the prompt, something with flowers, and I have some flowers here, and something with a source of light, and the sun here is my source of light. So I did a lot of progress this week, and you think this is not too much? I agree, but it's relatively big, and you would not think, but just finishing this amount of brown gave me almost 2,000 stitches. So some brown here, some greens here, and I did some purples for the flowers. Actually, for the flowers you don't need to stitch one definite color, so I did here and there. But so far it goes in big chunks of color. It's very easy to stitch, and when I was showing it on my Instagram and Facebook, I had questions like, it's so beautiful how I braid my floss for the pictures. Thing is, I don't braid it for the pictures, I braid it to use it. So yeah, when I have my floss from a kit, for example, not when it's patterned by Russian designers, where I kit from my stash of DMCs, which is total disorder. But when I have floss on an organizer like this. So what do? Is I first do a loop here, and then I braid it all the way down, and I fix it with the threads itself. I don't use a ribbon, I don't use clips or anything else. I just use it the ends of the braid to fix it. And then what is very easy for me is that I just take one thread and I pull one thread out, and it's so easy. So when it gets difficult to pull the thread, I just massage gently, stretch the braid, and it just pulls out nicely. So it's very easy, it's very convenient, it doesn't leave my threads in such a mess. Of course, it won't be looking like this when I will use half of it. Right now I'm relatively in the beginning of my project, so I only use a couple of browns, greens, and a purple. But once I will pull each and one of them and they will diminish in their size, of course it will look a little bit disheveled. But yeah, I do this not for pictures, I do this for the use, and I can actually show you. May has a new housey. So I can show you it's not only that project, my Vervaco kit. This is the braids from the Vervaco kit, and these are the braids from, you see, when I'm using it a lot, this is how it starts to look. But anyway, this is from Egyptian cats, orang now, Chinese kit. So yeah, I do this a lot for my kids, but I don't have too many. That's why it's like once in a while I have a kit with braided floss. So I had a question. It's like so cute for when you do this for pictures, but how do you like manage it later? I'm like, yeah, that's how I manage. I don't do this only for pictures. Okay, so news for me. She has a new housey. Her old housey, the pumpkin, started to rip, and some of the holes were like along the seam, so I could stitch them together, but some of the holes were like in the middle of like the fabric just started to rip apart. I think it's because it's relatively cheap housing for cats, and the fabric was not very good quality, plus we wash it a lot. Like she gets very dirty almost every week, so every maybe 2 weeks I try to wash her every sleeping place and every house to get rid of like this brown mucus, brown oil. So yeah, she got a little baby shark now. Erin is the one who chooses the designs. So we have a little baby shark here. So second project I stitched this week, and I did amazing progress on it. Again, I stitched the To the Moon and Back. I think the name To the Moon and Back. It is so beautiful, and you can see I almost finished. Like I still have some of the sky left and his fishing rod, plus the ends of the moon. So the prompt for this project was stitching yellow, and I think I stitched at least half of the yellow stitches our whole team had to stitch just by this project. It has a ginormous amount of yellows. So I did yellows here, and then the second prompt was the source of light. So I stitched the rabbit and a little bit of the whites for the source of light, because like when they give you a color, you only can stitch this color. But when they give you a prompt like flower or source of light or whatever, you can stitch whatever color you want, just if your project have something like that on it. So I stitched all the browns here, and it's very close for a finish, so probably. I didn't think I would stitch this project, but I had a prompt to stitch steps or stairs, and they have a like rock stairs or yeah, I will show you here. Yeah, it's like steps to the temple, to the Chinese temple. So I stitched this project and it got so much love. First of all, I finished the second umbrella, it's all done. I did some of the bushes, I did lots of steps, and actually all is left is only one color to fill in these gaps. And it's around 150 stitches. So one color and only 150 stitches until I start backstitching. And you can see there is a lot of backstitch. And recently I found out that it's a colorful backstitch. Like, yeah, I see some yellow backstitch in the tail and there is some dark red backstitch in the flower, but turns out all this, like, supposed to be black, is not black. Like there is no black backstitch here at all. It's supposed to be like dark gray, dark brown, very dark green, which I'm not doing. I'm doing black because on the picture I see black and it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I will do the red and the yellow just because like it will add some color to the umbrella, but everything else I think it's black. It's fine. I will be doing black. This is also gonna be finished soon. And the fourth project I stitched this week was the Frog Princess by Owl Forest Embroidery. So also I did the green here, the browns, and the prompt with the flowers. Lots of flowers this week. But yeah, I stitched a lot. So basically I finished from here, I finished all the brown, did this whole swan, some of the greens, the frog and the circle, and started on the princess's dress. I will show you I have a kit, and I think my problem is why I'm so reluctant to stitch on this kit is that I don't have anything else from the Owl Forest Embroidery at the moment. And the main thing about their kits is their floss. Like, yeah, I can buy a pattern and stitch it with DMC or any other variegated floss, but it will not give me as much love, as much like happiness, as much satisfaction as this little kid does with his own variegated floss. Like basically this floss, you can see this flower and this flower are both stitched with just one floss. Can you see like how different it is? This is more, I would say, salad green, and this is more like pine tree green. So this is how much difference in variegation in just one color, and it's everywhere. Like I started with yellowish browns. Show you, where's the brown? Up here, yellowish browns, and I will go and finish with brick brown, like pinkish brown. So there's so much amazingness going on in here, and it makes you actually think on how to stitch to get the best variegation possible. Because like I start with one color here and then it changes colors, so I decide to, oh, poor baby, nose blocked again. We'll need nose drops ASAP after I finish this video. So I stitch the darker ones, then go to stitch all the lighter green, and then once my thread again gets to the darker part, I start to stitch like darker green here again. Oh, it's like, it's a lot of like game on how to figure out on how to stitch the best way. But I'm happy to say that probably I finished basically like a third, or even maybe even like yeah, I would say a third of the whole project. I can't say it's a half, because I finished like here, basically like this plus the swan and no princess. So I would say it's a third of the whole project. The princess plus these two flowers would be another third, and then all would be left is a couple of frogs and dragonflies. Ooh, I'm in love. But I think my problem why I'm not stitching on it so much, even though I love it, every time I pick it up I love it, is that I don't have another old forest embroidery. And I was thinking, why don't when I go to Russia this winter, why don't I just buy another kit by them? I can buy something like bigger to prolong my love and enjoyment. So if I buy another one, I feel like I can finish the frog princess at least, you know. Alright, so now I do need to go and give our princess some nose drops. Then I do feel so hungry at the moment, so I have to rush and finish cooking my lunch, and after that I will be a little free to stitch, and maybe we will talk about plans for this week. Good morning. It's like 6 o'clock here. I just woke up. I'm getting ready to stitch. I have my floss tube here. I have my stitching here. Lame is running somewhere here too. Now we close the door so we don't wake Aaron up, and I wanted to share my plans for this week. Yesterday was a very busy day. Yesterday I went to the hospital for a regular annual checkup. It's gonna be September soon, and all the teachers are required to do health checkups and do annual health reports to work with kids. So then I went to yoga, and on yoga I got a gift, this sacred self-care oracle deck of cards. So when you are tired of stitching, you can pick a card and do something else for self-care and self-love. And I will share some stitching with you, and after that we will pick a card for you today, for me today, for you today, for everybody. Yes, they also got some stickers from Call of Duty, but I like this one the most. He really looks like Aaron. So what are my plans? First of all, yesterday I was a new week, and they announced all the tasks for this week, and this week, wait 5 minutes. I don't want to open the door and close the door too much, because I know she will go out, and after 2 minutes she will ask to be inside and she will meow, and I want Aaron to sleep more. So all the tasks for this week are connected to the trees, like stitch something with the tree, stitch on the tree itself, stitch on the project with the tree and the person, stitch something made of trees, just and stitch on the wooden base. So since I saw the task stitch on the wooden base, we have 10 tasks for 5 people, so each person have to finish 2 tasks, and each task is 1,000 stitches. So I saw the wooden base and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm sorry, girls, and this is mine. So I started another apple. This is apple from the kit I received this spring. 3 apples from this Russian company, and they provide saga for their patterns, so it's very very nice to stitch. But this kit did not have the floss, so I had to pick up floss from my stash. But anyway, I already finished the first apple this spring. I remember when in May, when I had 2 weeks off after my mom left, I started this first apple and just finished it. And I think it took me like 2 or 3 days to stitch this apple. It was a very, very quick stitch. So I hope the second apple will be as quick. I'm planning to do 1,000 stitches here, and maybe it will be my travel project, because it's really easy to take it as a travel project. Then together with one of my viewers, today we want to start the a bird from beads. Oh, Moonbird. Yeah, it's the name Moonbird. She also has this bird, and we were talking for a while now. When should we start? So we are starting today. So once I finish another 500, here is this 500 stitches. So a little more, like 505 maybe. So once I finish another 500 today, and today is a little easier day. I just need to go to work, and also I need to go to immigration because it's almost the end of my 2-year long visa. I need to renew it for another 2 years, and I need to go like today. So after I come back, I have almost the whole stitch day, but in the evening I also have Chinese class, so another little busy day. But I will have a lot of stitches. So after I finish 500 stitches, I plan to start the bird today, and we don't have we didn't agree how much we should stitch, but basically another one of my other games says I need to do 500 stitches, 500 beads report. So I'm planning to do 500 on this bird, and then I will have to choose another task about something wooden or stitching trees or something. I don't know what will be left, so we will see. And also I joined a SAL about pumpkins, and this SAL you choose any pumpkins you want to stitch, and these are the pumpkins I also received, and I really 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 want to stitch them. And actually here I have a floss organizer with the floss, so I will start from braiding them. Yay! I will braid the floss, and I will show you how easy and nice it is to use the braids. So I think this week I will be also starting, and the first pumpkin I'm doing 500 on it. So I already have plans for 1,000, so I will have another task too for another 1,000, so 3,000 this week I already planned. I don't know, I wanted to finish the moon and my pagoda, so I will see if I will have anything left by the end of the week, and if games won't require any extra projects. But let's see. I hope I will receive some backstitch tasks so I can start backstitching the pagoda or the moon. The games rule my life. And yeah, let's pick a card. So they're all very very colorful, but I will not spoil them for you, because maybe if you like this deck, we will make it like a once in a video thing where we will pick a card. So if you are tired of stitching and you wonder what should I do, make a dream journal. That's interesting. So if you haven't had a journal in a while, or you like journaling, how about a dream journal? And you can every day write down what your dreams about. Okay, let's pick a couple more just to see more. take a walk. This is very healthy, actually. I really like this one. Maybe I should take a walk in the evening today after dinner. And spend time with animals. Is this May? This is like 100% May. Yeah. I don't have a dog and a deer or a squirrel, but this is 100% May. Yeah, okay, I will open the door for you. So I will go spend some time with May, and then I will start stitching. And it's hail! Not rain, but pretty hail. We're at parents' apartment right now, and just look, it's not rain. It's like full-size hail here, and it's so loud. I mean, look, the pieces of ice, they just break. The pieces of ice, the giant ones. Once again, it's the end of the week, and I wanted to share with you everything that I've stitched this week. I know I should pick up a project, make a small video about it, put it down, but somehow it's easier for me to do at least weekly vlogs. So let's see. First this week I stitched 1,000 stitches on an apple. I had to stitch something on the wooden base, so I picked up an apple. I don't know why I chose an apple if I should be stitching the pumpkin because I just joined 2 cells. One is Halloween cell and another is specifically pumpkin cell, where you should be stitching something pumpkinish. And I have an amazing pumpkin kit from the same company as this apple, but somehow I decided to keep it till September and to stitch an apple. It's only 4 days till September. I can't believe it. I really don't want the summer to end. I don't want to go back to work for the full day. I really liked my stitching routine in the summer, where I can play lots of games and do a lot of tasks and stitch so much every day. But yeah, probably I won't be able to stitch as much in September as always, but we will see. So the first project was an apple. The second project I picked up... Oh, sorry. The second project I picked up is my pagada, and I had to do the 1,000 stitches here, so I finished all the cross stitches here and started on a back stitch, and it's just amazing. This is absolutely no cross stitch BDSM. This is a cross stitch back stitch bliss, because you're doing all these like tiny stitches, and in the end they give you an amazing like art-like style of backstitching. So it's not too much intrusive, it's not like you are it's not making it too comical or too cartoonish. It's actually look more realistic. So I really love it. So I finished this part and I am working on the umbrella, and everything else like down here is done. So like I think I did like at least 2/3. Of course I have so much more backstitch in this umbrella, but I think I finished like 2/3 of backstitching, and I only need another 1,000 of backstitch here. So this would be a very quick finish, but I have so many plans for September, so I think I will keep it for now in a pile of like ready to stitch things in case I will have some tasks for backstitch, or again something for the stairs, for the road, for flowers or whatever. Like I will keep it in mind. I will keep it in mind. So second thing I stitched this week, or third thing I stitched this week was my Liang Mei picture. I think this is from the designer Stitch Box Designs. I think it's Stitch Box because I remember it's some kind of box. She's doing the portraits of animals based on your photos, and she did Liang Mei, and I did 500 stitches here. So I worked on beiges and grays, and I did a little more on the greens around her, and all is left here is basically 500 more stitches, and it will be done because it needs a little more on oranges and some extra in her face and her hip and that will be done. But again, I pick it up for the prompt like Stitch 500 on a project with the words, so it has her name, so it counts as words, and I will keep it more. Like it is very close to finish, but considering I just have so many plans, which I will share with you just a moment later. Yeah, it's not priority. And also I have this like crazy thought that the moment I finish Lang Mei, I have to start another Sphinx related project, uh, because everyone who knows me, they already send me so many Sphinx patterns, like Mihao from Star Parade Star Parade Crafts. He, I think, sent me like 3 to 4 patterns of sphinxes from Etsy, and I love all of them. So I really need to stitch them one by one. So I need to finish this one, but I'm not in a hurry. Okay. Another thing I wanted to share with you my purchases this week, and I had some cross stitch related purchases and non cross stitch related purchases. So non cross stitch related purchases were my new earrings and the ring. We went out to eat with the parents this week, and we passed through some jewelry shop, and of course they have lots and lots of like gold and silver jewelry shops, but I'm not into it. I'm really into like handmade jewelry. So I got myself these amazing earrings. These are like white, I don't know, it's not lily, but what kind of flower is it? If you know what kind of flower it is, please let us know in the comments, because again, I'm so dumb about flowers. I love them, I have lots of them, and then I have no idea what's the names of them. Really, I'm so thankful to all my botanical ladies in the comments who every single time they just tell me like, yeah, the one that you showed in your vlog before is this name or that name, and I'm like, oh my god, it's really true. And also they had this very cool ring, and I picked it up because I have the same color pants, and that day I was wearing like this bluish green pants with the white shirt, so it fits amazingly. Like basically I dressed up at home, went out and bought all the jewelry to complement my outfit. So I shared with you, and I have so many amazing earrings. Would you like to have like earring parade from me? Because I'm not really into so much golden or silver earrings, but I am into handmade earrings, and I have a lot of them. So if you're interested, just let me know. Maybe next time I can show you. Another thing I have been stitching is this little birdie. I ordered it from it's like Russian floss tuber, and she is making her own kits with beads. I already finished one of the birds I purchased from her, and this is the second one I have. It's a moonbird. Just a sneak peek on how it will look like. I think it looks like an owl or a chickadee. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was the inspiration for this bird, but it's so funny. And I started it with my friend, and I started it from the bottom because I wanted to finish all the orange beads, and she started it from the top, so she already have an eye of the bird. And she told me I stitched the bird, I stitched her pants with the pocket, but it really looks like she has pants in the pocket now. So I decided to start with her clothes, and she's starting with the face. And actually then on the chart itself I see that here basically they have a spot, and they say this is the beginning of your work. So I started from the back door from the bottom. But actually why I chose this part is that I wanted to finish all the oranges, and then other parts of the word are very like color heavy. You have to like choose lots of color to do one line, but the bottom part is mostly all purple, so I just got myself tons of purple at once and just filled it in. And this is my cheapskate organization for this project. I keep it in a glass cup, and this is my mat for the beads because I don't have anything else, and I'm not beading too much, so I don't feel like I need to buy something specially just for a couple projects I'm doing at the moment. Maybe I should, I don't know, maybe I should buy something, but I don't really watch anyone like who's beading right now, so I don't even know what kind of organization I should have. So what's going on, I just like I take a line, and then I take out as many beads I need of each color of this on a line. Let's say if I take this line, I will take all the light blues, like 4 dark blues, how many I need of purples, 1, 2 of yellows, and I will prepare them, and then I will just stitch them all in one line. And I think I finished my thread here, so I just finished the line here. It's easy stitch, but I'm stitching it every morning when I wake up at 6 o'clock. Right now I am waking up like an hour before my work, before the time I need to get ready to work. So I have about like 40 minutes, 45 minutes to stitch, so a couple lines every day. It's growing. It's not a priority to finish at the moment, but because I am stitching it with a friend, it's kind of give me motivation to stitch it as much as I can every day. But I only stitch it every morning, so you can see like the work of how many 5 days of work. Yeah, for the 5 days it's like nothing. And then I had some more purchases. At one moment I thought that I want to stitch a vanity bag, and I am that cheap that I not maybe cheap I am wasting more money than I should have, but I don't want to spend time making vanity's bag. So I found several different shops. I have at least like 4 different shops here. Listen to this little goose card, so cute. 4 different shops, and I try to check what the quality of the bags, what are the colors, what anything. So I really liked this shop, Time to Party. It's on Taobao, Chinese sellers. So they have really nice vanity bags, and one of the points I was trying to find is that I need the inside pocket. So I did not order anything that doesn't have inside pockets. So these ones are really good. And I found this. It's small and it's kind of very colorful, so I'll see if I can find a pattern that is like that can actually pop on this fabric. But I just love these strawberries, and if I can't find anything, I'll just use it as a project bag for something small. Then I bought this bag, and this is the company that sent me the card. I'm not sure about this kind of bag. I bought it because of this interesting color, like mustard yellow, and they have like gray green maybe also, but I tried I wanted to start with the mustard yellow, but I'm not sure which design I should put here. And inside is gray, so this is not something, not my colorway, but the outside is really cool. And then these 2 bags are also good, and actually you can stitch on them, but I'm not gonna stitch on the bag. I'm gonna use the soluble canvas just because it's easier for my eyes, not to kill my eyes of it. It's just a regular vanity bag. So I got 6 and I started 1. And what did I start with? So one of the Russian floss tubers, she just shared recently that she bought from the designer Karina Carey. She bought this cat, and I was looking at it. I'm like, this is not just a cat. This is a fandom art from the Hayao Miyazaki movie, The Witch's posters. And then I looked at all of them, and they're like all from some kind of movies. Yeah, you can see the wolf from the Red Riding Hood, but this guy is from Adventure Time. If you don't know Adventure Time, I have no idea which rock you're living under, but it's like something you should know. As you know Simpsons or Futurama, you should know Adventure Time. It's amazing. Like, I would 100% recommend to watch it with kids, or even if you don't have kids, I would recommend it because I'm 30 and I loved it, and I had amazing stitching sessions when I was watching it. It's about a boy and his dog, and the first 2 seasons probably a little bit childish. They just go on adventures in the magic world, but after the season 2, they start to build up characters. First of all, we see the growth of the character from the childhood to his teenage years, and with all the teenage problems like moodiness and aggressiveness and cannot make a decision and things like this. But also is building up on the world, so we will have different timelines and different dimensions and lots of backstories for all kinds of characters, and like just amazing. And this is actually from the cartoon Over the Garden Wall, and if you don't know it, you should watch it too, because it's also super cool, but also a lot of like, I would say you should watch it for Halloween. It is kid friendly, but you should watch it on Halloween because it's a little spooky, but no horror, no, just cartoon. So I started with purchasing only first one. I'm not sure I want to do all of them, because as much as I love all the cartoons, I'm not sure how Chinese people watching them or not. Like Aaron didn't know anything about the Adventure Time or Over the Garden Wall, so I am thinking about others. Probably I will do the cat, but still not sure about it. So I only purchased the first one. And I started doing it immediately. So you see, I needed the inside pocket so I can take it out. I can open it on the side, put my hoop inside, and stitch it very comfortably. And I just cut out just enough soluble canvas that I need for this project. So it's very easy actually to stitch through the soluble canvas, and I'm using a very, very sharp needle. I already poked myself several times. Bloody hands. But yeah, you have to be careful when you use the sharp needles. And I'm enjoying it. This is, I think, right now for me, this is the project of passion, because actually I do have Halloween costume of the female version of Finn, the boy. I have like the hat and the same sword and things like this. So I am planning to finish it probably before the start of September. It's not much left, but I'm probably finishing it in the next 4 days, and I will have a little photo shoot with this bag, with all the prompts I acquired for this Halloween. And probably this Halloween I am gonna be Fiona from the Adventure Times. So this is very project of passion, and of course I will need to find some other little patterns for other bags, but I'm not in a hurry to stitch them. Yeah, I only have another month before the market. Like the next market is on the 30th of September, but I have so many plans that I'm not sure I will be bringing like all 6 of them for the next market. Maybe a couple of bags, so 1 and 1 more. So for the next month. Others will go for winter market. And let's talk about September plans. Right now my September plans live in a heap, in a pile on the table, because I need to see them to focus on them. As long as I don't see them, I tend to like overlook them or find something else more interesting, but as soon as I put them here and every time I sit on my like craft table, I will see this pile of things, like really a pile of things. So let's see. First of all, I am starting, and I braided my floss already. I'm starting this weekend with the pumpkins. So yeah, these are the pumpkins. I should have started before the apples, because I just joined 2 cells about pumpkins. So I need to stitch them and finish them. There is no way they are like gonna drag. No, I don't want to drag them for years and years. I want to really stitch them and decorate my house with them for the Halloween. I know they are not 100% Halloweenish, but they're good enough. So next 2 projects are really Halloween. These were a gift from a fellow floss tuber this spring. As soon as she heard that my mom is coming to China, she wanted to send me a gift, and she got these 2 kits from the company Neocraft, and they are amazing. I have an unboxing of all the kits on my channel, so if you want to see, go and see. And I have one more Halloweenish plan, is that I have a designer pattern of the witch, and this witch is very small. Like basically this stitch is equals its outside art, so it will be this size and this size, but if you see the pumpkins it's like not even the size of 2 pumpkins, it's less. So this will be a very quick stitch. I'm not sure how many stitches are here. Like what, are there gonna be like 300 stitches or less? Because I only see a couple things you actually need to cross stitch, and the rest you just like sew it on. So I'm not sure how big stitch wise this project is, but it is so cute. So I'm pretty sure 2 months before October 31st, I can finish these 3 projects and maybe do a significant progress on another witch pattern, which I forgot to show you, but I'm pretty sure I will show you next video, so stay tuned for that. And I will be dyeing fabric for that project, because I have been dreading that witch. It is very difficult, it's very bland and backstitch heavy. Not this one, another one. So I want to motivate myself by dyeing the fabric and by making it as amazing as possible. So of course, my plan to stitch 3 aprons. I need to do 1500 on this apron and to start 1500 on this apron. And this apron is gonna be very small. Like, I already pre-cut the soluble canvas, so this is the whole design. Like, it's not full coverage, so it's relatively small. Like, I don't know how many stitches here, like 5,000 maybe? I would say maybe 5,000 stitches here. So I think I can do about 2,000 or 1,500 in September. So this is a plan to start. Unfortunately, I can't find the kit. I can't find the kit picture to show you. Only thing I have at me is the copy I did. Maybe I forgot the picture at the kindergarten because I take it with me to make copies, and then I think I only bring the copies back home. Probably the picture is still in the printer, so I will need to retrieve it. And I don't know why, but I'm thinking to make a little more effort on Teresa Cogot, the angel, because it just doesn't get enough love. Yeah, 1,000 stitches for this project is like nothing. I got like this corner and it's already like 2,000 stitches. So next time I'm gonna pick this pattern, I still need maybe like 30,000 stitches. I don't know how big is it. Of course, I made it easier for myself by non-stitching the background. I'm only focusing on the angel itself. But still, I really need to put some work, and I feel this moment is when I want to do a little more work. I will try to stitch it as much as I can outside of like prompts, or I will try to fit as many prompts as I can with this pattern. I'm not sure, like, apart from purple, maybe some black or white or beige, red and pink, I don't see many prompts that I can fit. Maybe something with wings, but I don't know if I will have anything like in September like that. So wish me luck, and I will see you soon to show you the results before the 1st September.
拿这个啊，对，他这椅子还能可以往那边再抽一点，真的还是做菜很长，慢慢听我的。那我就不拿烧鱼了，常拿烧鱼。哎呀，我这一喝酒也吃不了了。哎，哥们儿，拿这个喝完酒。
Can you recognize me? This is actually the way I am going to work and from work every day. Wearing a helmet because I'm driving about like 35 kilometers per hour. I think it's about like 15, 18 miles per hour. So my scooter is quite fast, and of course need my trusty, I don't know how to call it. It's not cowl, it's like half scarf or something. To cover from the dust, from the air, from the wind. I know Chinese people are wearing it to cover from the sun, but I don't really care if I get tan or not. The most I care about is that every time I'm driving, there is such a force of the wind in my face that my skin gets very dry. So that's why I'm not happy about it. My winter helmet has like full screen cover, so I don't need extra face covers. But my summer one, the winter one is really hot right now, so my summer one has only half face, like this. So that's why all my cheeks, every time I go to work and back, get very dry and burned by wind. That's why I'm wearing my little coat and hiding my face, so no one can recognize me. But actually my students already remember that purple covered face thingy is teacher Anna going to work. So every time I'm driving into the community, they're like, Anna! And the parents is like, what is this stranger you're talking to? Yeah, it's fun. And why I'm making this last portion of our video from a park is that there are house renovations right now in my apartment. The half of the, like, let's say the ceiling part above the window in my living room is falling down. So it's I think it's artificially made. It was artificially made to do the extra space for the curtains or something. I'm not sure. Like, I was not there when this apartment was bought and when the initial like renovations were made, so I don't know what is the purpose of that was, but the part of the ceiling is falling down, and actually it's falling down about a year right now, and Aaron wanted first to fix it before my mom was coming to China, but it would require us to open all the windows because the builders basically need to break that part of the ceiling down and then build a new one. So you can imagine like how much rock and dust and everything else is there. So we would need to open all the windows, and if we would open the windows in April, our cat would die because it's so cold for her. And we decided to postpone it till summer, when we can open the windows and live like this. But this summer was awfully hot. Half the summer was raining, and half the summer was so hot that it was hard to go out and hard to breathe because of all the rainwater in the ground was like drying. So we lived in a constant mist. Like you go out, it's not too hot to be outside, but your skin instantly gets moist and sticky, and you basically cannot breathe. And at the moment, Chinese said it's been like autumn already a couple of weeks now. According to lunar calendar, the summer is already over. Actually, today is the last day of summer. Today is the 31st of August, but according to the lunar calendar, summer is already over, which I disagree. I don't want it to be over so early. So I follow regular calendar, and that's why it's being like kind of comfortable this couple 2 weeks to live with just open windows. It was still very rainy and sometimes a little chilly, but at least it was comfortable. So as soon as it got comfortable to open the windows, Aaron ordered people to come and rebuild our living room. But unfortunately, when they started this thing, I was not at home and I could not control the process. And of course, Aaron, being as busy as he is at work, he just didn't have the mental capacity to think about like closing all the doors in the apartment, hiding the cat in one of the other rooms, putting all the things that could get dirty, like all the pillows from the sofa, my plants, like toys, everything, like in this different rooms. So by the time I came home, it already was covered in dust. Like right now, everything in my living room, kitchen, game room, bathroom, and bedroom, everything covered in such a layer of dust that I can basically come and draw in it. It will only take 3 days to finish, so today is the last day, and we decided not to wash the house every day, because basically if I decide to wash the house every day, then I will come back from work, start washing, and finish by the end of the evening, basically, because the whole house will be dirty. We decided not to wash May, because of course, where else would the house gremlin sit? She would sit in the dirtiest places ever. She would find that corner where the builder would have put all the building trash, all the rocks, all the things, and she would definitely sit there, lick herself, cuddle there, like, and then she would run over to me and like, "Mommy, hug me!" I'm like, "No way." And she also, like, we try to wipe her paws during the, like, before we go to bed. So during the night, she would go on rounds around the apartment. I would actually, in the morning, I would see that she sat in the pile of dust, and then she walked all over the apartment, starting from the kitchen, make a big circle, and then she came to bed and lay on me. And of course, all over myself, I would also have dusty paw prints. Oh, I just need to survive today. I just need to survive today, and today we can clean, and today we can wash, and wash her, and wash the linen on the bed, everything. Basically, we will have a major cleaning operation. But it's good. It's good. It's like soul cleaning, because for these 3 days it was really weighing on me, living in such a mayhem. So it's really soul cleaning. And by the way, if you are interested to learn any news about me and my life without needing to wait for the whole month for reports like this, you can also subscribe to my Instagram. My Instagram is Anastasia Meng or Nekodetka. So every day I post there about like what happened, May's funny faces, or what I'm stitching, usually some of my food, or if I go out somewhere, all the pictures. And of course, like all the major events I show there during the events. You don't need to wait for any of my reports here. And sometimes I forget. Sometimes after the whole month, I just forget that it happened. So another life update is that I'm starting my regular work tomorrow, and I'm also working this Saturday, so I expect a very big drop in my stitching speed in September. First of all, I'm starting like full-time again, not only morning classes but full-time, and they made my schedule a little bit more difficult. They added 1 class per day, so before I had like 3 classes a day, plus I had to stay with the kids during the whole day, apart from the classes. Now they added like extra class, so I would have to stay with kids half day, and then I will have 4 classes every day. They added me some office time, so I will have some like 30-40 minutes of free time, but then it doesn't really help me too much. But I'm excited. Any change is a good change so far. I'm already tired of the summer. I'm excited to start my fall. I'm excited to start stitching. I'm excited to start teaching and to get all my kids back, to see everybody how much they grew over the month that I haven't seen them. I'm excited. But of course, because of it, I expect my stitching speed to fall down, because these past couple weeks I've been doing 5,000 stitches a week. That's like a lot, too much for me. So probably it will go down to 4 maybe thousand per week if the week is relatively easy. But whatever. So far, this week, I have finished a pumpkin. So yeah, it's so cute. Actually, this pumpkin is not my favorite, turns out, because it's all brown and yellow orangish. But yellow orange is like very little bit. A lot of this is brown and blend of brown and like green, or brown and orange. So it's not. It looks amazing, but I didn't get that aesthetic wow from stitching it. It was a little boring. The end result is amazing. I changed some of the backstitch on the pumpkin. It was supposed to be like all gray backstitch, and gray backstitch in 2 threads I changed into a black backstitch. I don't think it stands out too much, and I was just too lazy to do backstitch 2 times in the places where it should be 2 strands. I already started on my second pumpkin, and I'm stitching this with my friend as a cell. And actually she same friend that I'm stitching the bird with beads, and we started from the opposite sides of the bird, and actually it turns out we started from the opposite pumpkins. So she started with the middle pumpkin, the green pumpkin, because she likes greens, and I started just from the first pumpkin because it's number 1. Now she finished the number 2, and she is going in the biggest pumpkin, and I started number 2. But actually I like the green pumpkin and the greens more, so I think I would enjoy this pumpkin greatly. This pumpkin will be 1600 stitches, and so far I finished like 400 here, so quarter down, more to go. I expect like this September I will finish all 3 of them, and will be able to show you. By the way, I have big plans on September. September will be a lot about Halloween, a lot about pumpkins, and have a ginormous news. Another package from Israel is coming with lots and lots of new cross stitch. So it's not a haul, it's actually my friend from Israel. She's supporting my market, and she sent me the second package. First package was in spring, and this is the second package she sent me to prepare for the market. So I bet next month we will be FFOing a lot. But I'm also excited to see what she sent me, because she never shows me anything. Like, it's a big surprise for me, and of course it's kind of exciting to see what other cross stitchers stitch, because all the cross stitch I ever see is just the cross stitch on Instagram or FlossTube, so not in real life, you know. And real life cross stitch, when you can go and touch it, it's just such a major boost. If you will hear some strange noises, it's, by the way, the plane. The airport is not too far, and the planes are very regular here, and it was the plane that my mom came here. Not the same one, but I like to think that it was the same plane that my mom came here, and now it just flew over me. Okay, so my big plan is to receive the package. She already sent it to me. She sent me the track number, so now I'm tracking it, and I'm very excited. It's supposed to arrive maybe in a week, so next video we will start from unboxing that package and seeing what amazingness is inside. Also, next month, the 30th of September, will be handmade market. So probably I will prepare something myself. I will also take part in the market, and of course I will tell you everything. So stay tuned for the next video. Another good thing that happened is that I started to listening to a book. After I finished The Blindness, our literature club did not gather this month. I think most of the participants left to Russia to see their families, because we haven't seen our families for about 4 years because of coronavirus, and this summer it was just ginormous flow of people, of foreigners from China to their home countries to see their relatives, families, reunite, just generally travel. So majority of my literature club is out of Beijing. We did not get together this month, so we don't have a new book. So that's why I started to read a recommendation by Jen. Her channel is Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole, and she's amazing. She just takes all kinds of sayings or phrases from the books and she turns them into cross stitch, and she makes her own fonts, she makes her own like patterns with them. That's just so cool. Like sometimes I have a phrase that I really like, but I'm like, oh, that sounds so nice, and then I forget. But she actually put them to use and put them around her place, so she would never forget them and she would keep these memories for her. So it's so cool, and I really admire that about her. And she recently she's been really into Sarah J. Maas, The Court of Thorns and Roses. The garden over there is like just making this noise, so I'm sorry if you hear it, but just bear with me a little bit. I only have a couple minutes here more. Aaron said that the builder is almost finished, so I can get home. So I will be finishing this episode and just going home to clean. Who likes cleaning? Raise your hand. I think if I go to hell, my hell will be cleaning all the pots from boiling people because it's my hell. Okay, never mind. I started listening for the first book, Court of Thorns and Roses, and actually it's good. When she said it's a fantasy, and if you're really like into a really good fantasy story, like try reading it. I read like a couple pages and I thought it's about like young adult girl, 19 years old, probably would be looking for love and struggle about herself and everything, like most of young adult books. But no, like I'm 4 hours into the book, probably out of 16 hours, and it's good, and it's not about love or teenage feelings or something. No, it's really like about sacrifice and survival of her family, and actually her family makes me very angry. It's like infuriates me, just for family dynamic. But apart from that, it's like it has some lore. It has lots about monsters and fairies and the rules of the world, and this world is like kind of looks like ours, but it's also foreign. So it's interesting to read it, and it doesn't give you all the answers right away. So it doesn't like explain a lot, just gradually takes you like step by step with that girl on how she sees the world and how she gets like basically educated about the rules of her world, which she didn't know. So it's interesting. So I'm not even half in the book yet, so I will be reading it more in September, and if it's really like really amazing, I would definitely recommend it to you, and I will start the second book. If it flops and the second book is not, I will tell you this too, but so far it was good. So, and Jen says the whole series is really good, so I would trust her. Okay, so I think I shared most of the news with you today. Oh, yesterday we had a hail. Like hail. Like it's the 30th of August and we had a hail. We were in mother-in-law's apartment, so we could see on the under their glass roof. They were pieces of ice. Basically, like we have right now a temperature of 30 plus degrees outside. It's very hot. The hail fall through this temperature, because even during the rain it's still like pretty hot, pretty comfortable. Like I can go out in my shorts and t-shirt and not freeze or anything. It's like very comfortable temperature. So the hail fall down from this temperature break on the ground and didn't melt, and we still had like little shards of ice everywhere. So that was just like how big was initially the piece of hail that was like falling from the sky. The football size, I don't know, but like it's scary. It's scary how the nature is just like changing and makes all these different things like we're not expecting from it. just generally scary. Alright, so I think this is all the news I have for you for this month, and thank you everyone who's been watching me till the very end. Thank you if you wasted your time on my useless talking, but I really appreciate if you share your thoughts down below in the comments, if you like or subscribe, and I bet I will see you in a month with a lot of update in September. Bye!